Hello, everyone. Welcome in. Happy Saturday. At least I think it's going to be Saturday when I air this. Anyways, I went out to the flea market very early this morning, and before I got there, please go over to my community post and see the Judy Lee rhinestone jewelry collection that I bought because I bought rhinestone brooches and earrings from the early 1960s. And the lady's estate that I bought it from, she was a Judy Lee vendor back in the day, and I bought her original booklet that's like 2 inches thick, joined by a ring, and it shows a lot of the Judy Lee jewelry, but I'll bring that to a future video. I needed to clean it up a little bit, match the brooches and earrings, because there's quite the collection. But I wanted to thank you so much for joining in. I don't have long today because I have another go-see appointment, and my best friend, Tori, from high school, is in town, and she wanted to meet with me. So I don't have long, and I really appreciate you understanding sometimes when I seem a little bit panicked still. It doesn't have anything to do with like a job, but now that I work for myself, I'm allowed to call my own hours, but I do want to spend some time with her. She only comes in once a year. This is a Trifari brooch. It's gold tone and has a faux ruby cabochon in the head. I bought this for 15. These normally go for around 50 or 60, so I had to buy that for an immediate resale. And Trifari is very well made and a very easy sell right now, so I just wanted to show you some of the pieces that I picked up. This I bought. I didn't buy this at the flea market. I bought this the other day and from one of the antique malls in the area. It was $14. It's a beautiful, beautiful rhinestone brooch. Fantastic color, fantastic condition. And in my short feed, when I found it out in the wild, it was very dirty. So I cleaned this up last night. This is the only piece that did not come from this morning's flea market, but I wanted to get that cleaned up. And I will show you how to clean rhinestones appropriately. I just didn't, well, to be honest, I just didn't think about doing that on camera. I just wanted to get it done. This one's really cool. I had one like it. Oop, this ring is stuck to it. I had one like this, and I sold it right away. These are attributed to Weiss. I would say that this one more than likely is by Weiss. A lot of times there's a little oval that is stamped into the metal. On this one, it's not signed. I'm 99% sure that the earrings would have been the portion of the set that was signed and the brooch just was not marked. So you can loosely attribute this to Weiss. And I would say that's late 50s into the 1960s. I would say circa dating 1960, just so everyone maintains happiness. And those headlight rhinestones are so fantastic. They switch between like a teal, turquoise, into kind of a fuchsia, and then into a purple. So that color play and the condition of this was just great. So that was a have to have. And I did sell, I think I sold the other one right away, I believe for 75 or 85. And I'm going to put that one on eBay, hopefully by tomorrow. This ring I bought late in the day today. I think this was one of my last buys, hence it being on the top of the pile. But this is blue diamonds that have been color treated, likely irradiated blue diamonds. And then on the outside, these are clear diamonds, and that's sterling silver. So a lot of times you will see diamonds set in sterling silver now, and they sell extremely well. That's a very handsome ring. Very, very classy, very simple, and it fits. You know, I'd probably consider wearing that. My hand's a little bit swollen today because I was out, in the sun all day, but it's a little loose over here, but I really liked its simplicity and design. I thought that was fantastic for stone and for metal, and I like the way that's constructed. Very Art Deco down the sides, and I like the sandblasted finish, matte finish, as opposed to the polished surface. But anything that looks Art Deco is so masculine and so strong, the design of that. And the stones are really beautiful. For irradiated blue diamonds, I really liked this. So that was a yes. And thank you so much again for joining in. I don't think I thank you enough sometimes. This one's Scandinavian. I didn't look up the artist on this. I had one, again, remotely similar from Burton Show. It's signed on the inside. I believe it's probably Norway or Sweden. I'll have to look on the inside hallmark. I haven't used my loop yet to look at that, but I knew that that was Scandinavian in design and so modernist. So 1960, 1970. Look how they bent the metal and soldered it together to create this wearable sculpture in sterling silver. I loved everything about this. The oxidation, the composition, the way this is so directional, this cubist design, abstract sculpture that when you turn it, it's different from every angle. So naturalistic yet industrial, wearable sculpture again. And I liked its directionalness. I liked this being soldered to a shank with no other support system. Kind of very much so about this almost folded paper or, cardboard construction when you look at it like corrugated. So fantastic and so directional. Really, really loved this. It was moderately priced. This one I think was 30. I think this one was 30. The one I bought at Burton it was 60 or 65. And that one sold right away as well. So as soon as I sell something, I have this tendency to find one, similar, because it's like once you sell something, you're kind of on the lookout for it. It's not like I was seeking that out, but anyways, I bought this from my friend, and I don't think this has very much age on it. There's something clumsy about the carving. This seems very superficial. It seems artificially aged with this kind of almost baked on paint or incrustation. It doesn't seem truthful to me. I will do more research on this, though, before I start saying if it's authentic or not. On the back, it does say that it's supposed to be 600 to 900 AD. I don't know if that's right. To me, I've seen so many Chinese carvings that are faked, and clearly Chinese on this in design, with this whimsical monkey on this horse or horse-like creature, but definitely stone. To me, it's color treated, but again, I'm going to have to dive into this a little bit more. This was only $20. So when something is $20, it's like buying a lottery ticket or a scratch off. Take the chance. What am I going to lose on this? Nothing. If it doesn't turn out to be very early, I'm still going to be able to sell it for, on a carving like this beautiful in this condition, $50 or $60, pretty easy. It'd be wonderful as a pendant if I could make not if I, but if I had the time to create a sterling silver mounting with, 4 prongs in each corner, and of course leave it open back so you could see this carving. But the surface, there is a little bit of age to that. There's something going on that it might be old or vintage, but it needs to be cleaned up. There's stuff like a little bead stuck down in there, and it needs to be cleaned just a little bit. So I'll study this further, but I wanted to bring it on because it's what I bought at the flea market, and I figured, why wouldn't I show it to you? As I do my research, I will always keep you posted on what I find out. This was just fun. I don't have a tendency to buy rhinestone brooches from, this contemporary. And I would say this is mid 80s to early 90s. It reminded me of Bauer, B-A-U-E-R, rhinestone, and I don't think it is. Someone might attribute it to somebody else. Attribution, I'm going to leave it open-ended on this, but I liked the design of this butler with his bow tie and balancing his, drinks on his tray. I liked the color play of the red. I do like that the rhinestones have aged a little bit, so that this has been around for a while. We do see cheap imitations of this today from 2010, 2015, and they really are not being cruel, but they're very much so junk. They're everywhere, and they're just not, to me, they're just not desirable. One of this vintage, definitely slightly more desirable, and I'd keep the price moderate. I would probably say between 55 and 65. If it was Bauer, I'd say about 85 or 95, but that's just, again, shooting from the hip with what I know. I don't look things up. I just don't. I base my prices on what I pay for things and what I feel is fair to my consumers. consumer. This was wonderful. I was hopeful I didn't lose this on the way home. This is 22 karat gold and platinum. So it's signed down in here with a ton of little hallmarks. But that is 22 karat gold. And I don't know the other marks just yet. I'm going to have to, oops, as I lose it, I'm going to have to do a little bit more research on this. But 22 karat gold, and this does appear to be platinum on top of that gold, but almost like that orange blossom company and design from the late 1920s, early 1930s. So very cool that it's gold on the inside and then platinum. You know, maybe it's palladium, but it's definitely in the platinum or palladium family for metal. Very heavy. But that was $1 in a junk bin, and I was like, oh, absolutely, for $1. They thought it was all just costume stuff. And in the same box, was it this one? Yes, it was this one, and I got very lucky on this. This was also $1. Let me back, you know, kind of get the background out of there for you, block it out. That is some sort of serpent, and then holding onto that's the way it goes right there. It is a winged serpent holding onto a very early mine cut diamond, and that is 14 karat gold. I think when they saw the tarnish here and how that finish didn't look like it was gold, there must have been some sort of early repair here, or you know, soft solder repair here at some point. But yeah, that's an expandable 14 karat gold, and that's Victorian. That would be between 1860 and 1880. I'd consider that more mid-Victorian than I would late Victorian, but that is beautiful, like a winged serpent in a way, a dragon head, a wing, and then a snake tail, but beautifully executed. And I think I posted this, maybe I didn't post it yet, but I was going to post my finds on my community tab, because I did take pictures of these out in the field when I find them. That was just great. You know, I think from the $1 that I spent, maybe I could get $2.95 to like $3.50. But I show you that because, you know, a lot of times I won't comment on what I spend on something, because then I feel like greedy or aggressive when I make a lot of money. But hey, it doesn't happen all the time. I will tell you this much, you know, I think in these haul videos you're like, wow, he finds like the best stuff all the time. Well, I'm out looking all the time, number one, but number two, sometimes I'll go and I don't find much. You know, I mean, I could walk the flea market or an antique mall for a matter, you know, either or, and I might not find, you know, anything. I might spend $10. You know, there's some days when I don't find much. This was just cool. This was $1. And it was from a friend, a dealer from Cleveland, and this was out at the Hartville flea market. And these are old poker chips and playing chips. So a lot of times these were very collectible. This one's celluloid or an early plastic, definitely, you know, authentic chips. This one might be Bakelite, so I'll have to look into that one in construction. And then just a gold tone chain. But these were just very cool that these were, you know, gambling chips. This is the one that I most wanted. This one has age to it. Appears to be, you know, is it Bakelite? I can't say for sure on this one. Weight-wise, color-wise, if it is, it's early Bakelite. And then this silver inlaid design with a 20 on it. So poker chip or gaming chip, that was fantastic. You know, and I think by itself, you know, I wouldn't mind, I don't know, but this is just me. I wouldn't mind spending $20 just on this one, whether I leave it on this or take it off. But I thought that was fun for $1. I said yes to myself. Yeah, you know, a gamer or a gambler or someone that likes slot machines, they would love that. That would make sense. And then in the same area this morning, I found these three coins. And again, I haven't looked at these, but I liked the surface on these. I'm not one to consume silver coins very often, but this was an 1880, and I just liked the honest surface on these, that they hadn't been like cleaned or polished. I like when coins are oxidized, and I'm not an advanced coin collector by any stretch. I'm not, but I thought this surface was beautiful. So I got the 1880, and then I think I got an 81 or an 82 Going on memory here, I don't like to touch the front of these, though, and get fingerprints all over them. I mean, these are circulated, clearly, but I just don't like to, get my fingerprints all over them. 1882. So I guess the other one that I got is an 81. But again, I liked that surface and the honesty of oxidation. And this was my friend. He goes by the name Treelon, and he loves it. He's proud of it. I think he used to shop the curbs. But Treelon is amazing. He's an amazing man, and he has the best dog, Amy. She is, oh my gosh, she is one of my favorites at the flea market. And I can't ever pick a favorite when it comes to dogs, especially at the flea markets, because I've mentioned Max before, and I can't cheat on Max, but Amy, she really has stolen my heart. I love her. And she needs a small operation, a small surgery. So I didn't feel bad splurging on these coins with Treelon. Plus, he's my friend, and I don't mind spending money with my friends. 1881. So this fills in the gap. So I got an 80, 81, and 82. So, but look at the oxidation on this. It's almost like, a rainbow. It's almost that tonality of like when it starts to get a rainbow, and silver will do that when exposed to air and sulfur and oxidize like this. But I thought, I don't know, these surfaces, look how the toning kind of settles into the curls of her hair. And then when you tip it, look at the blue and purple that starts to happen. It's not the best rainbow toning I've ever seen on a silver dollar, but I loved it. This was the first one that I said absolutely yes, just because no one's cleaned that. They've let that do that over time. And why not? But I'm not a purist collector when it comes to coins, because I'm not really a collector at all. Oops, I just bumped the camera. Oops, sorry about that. So down inside the light box, I have this Glidden tray, and we'll get to that in a minute. And then these earrings. These were very, very, very inexpensive, and I don't want to go there on price just yet. But these are Schreiner of New York, and I can say that for certain. I'm 110% sure that these are Schreiner of New York. Now, they're not signed Schreiner, and I've tried to tell people, just be cautious with attribution, and if you don't know, just sell them as unsigned and do a little bit of research. But these are 100% unsigned Schreiner. The way you can tell is there's many ways. The color combination, the way these are so massive and so large, this kind of keyhole earring back, that's definitely a Schreiner earring back. There are other companies that use this. Sometimes you'll see this in Austrian goods, so please don't just judge an earring by its back, but that's 100% a Schreiner earring back. They did use that very frequently. Invert set stones. The tip is up rather than be down, and this juxtaposition and color combination, courageous, bold, courageous. The quality of the stones, look at the quality of these crystals and rhinestones and faux pearls. Look at the size of the earrings. They're gigantic, they're courageous, they're massive. This was a person who was a master and in charge of their craft. 110% Schreiner, 110%. Quality, weight, design, color combination, invert set stones, and then the keyhole shank. So you can't just base, it on one. If it had one attribution to Schreiner, I'd say, be careful. Let your buyers decide what they are. But these are 100% Schreiner of New York. Incredible earrings they're gigantic. I think they're like 2.5 inches by 1.25, and then they're about they're about 1.25 inch deep too. They're just gigantic. But those were, as soon as I saw them, I thought, oh, those are Schreiner, and I thought they're going to be signed. These giant filigree Easter eggs with the most happy pastel pink and peridot green and faux pearls and pink, no, not signed at all. But I'm glad they weren't, because some of the unsigned Schreiner has now been going for more than the signed work, because we know that these were runway, these are probably one-offs, there may be only a few pairs in the world, basically, so those were a yes, and I have to package them separately. So when you have seed pearls, I always tell people, put one in a bag, get another bag, and put the other one on the other side, so they don't rub on each other, because you can really rub the nacre or the luster off of those. I really don't want to put these these away just yet. The whole way home, at every stoplight, I looked at these because I thought, wow, that was my lucky find today. That was my one that I just really responded to. This cross was interesting. Didn't look at this close enough. Are those little diamonds? They very well could be. So I'm going to slow down because a lot of times in these steel necklaces, they did set diamonds in them. So I'm going to have to look at those a little bit closer. It is signed. I loved the contemporary, very heaviness of this. Very masculine, very large, and the craft on it was beautiful. Plus, this is something that if I couldn't sell it, I would definitely wear it. I love this. There's just something about its angularness, its pyramid shape, these 4 dazzling stones, and then that step down. So it wasn't just one level. It was multi-levels. Loved that. Just really thought that was very special and great construction. I will look up the maker, but on a steel ball chain. I've always loved these chains. They're very comfortable. And my dad's, I will say this, my dad served in the Army and a true patriot and has taught me, so much about the love of my country. And his dog tags came on a beaded chain just like this. And I have, one of his dog tags and my brother has the other now. And I loved this because it reminded me of the gift from my father and what he gave to this country. What a gift he gave to defend this Lady Liberty that we should all love so very much right now. These are, I believe these are Spratling. These, I got lucky again. This was on the way out. Let me take a quick peek and make sure that they're Spratling. By the design, I thought these were Spratling, and I think they're very early William Spratling. I would say probably late 1940s. I don't know if I can see inside of there. That sure looks like the conjoined WS. Let me set that one down. And thank you again so much for being here. I so appreciate your time and your patience with me. Yes, bingo, there we go. Let me get my loop out. And here's my other loop that I use that's on my desk. I only use a 10-op. So if you get a 10-op loop, that's enough. And it does close. So if you get a 10-op loop, it doesn't matter the brand. Just make sure that the lens is glass rather than plastic, because sometimes they will put a plastic lens in, and that's no good. They fall apart all the time. Yeah, conjoined WS. And let's see if sterling, made in Mexico. Yeah, so there is the conjoined WS, and I hope that you can see that okay. So that is very old for William Spratling, WS. And I would say retail on these now in 2024, I'm guessing, because I haven't had Spratling in a while this early, I'm guessing these would be in the vicinity of around $600. Years ago, they were probably like $800 or $900 for this design. And it's like the moon and the orb. I forget if this has a specific name, but look at the construction of these. As soon as I saw this, I thought, oh, those are magnificent. The weight of the metal, the way it's soldered together. But for William Spratling and early William Spratling, I'm going to say, on a bad day, 450. So I'm gonna, I guess I can say it. I'll make about $445. So anyways, so there you go. And these were just fantastic. So those were also a heck of a buy today. So those were magnificent. And I'm not going to polish them. I'm going to let the new owner do this. This was a splurge, but I showed this to you because I wanted to make sure that before I put her away in safety deposit, that everybody understands that gold does tarnish and gold coins do get toning on them. So I don't know if you can see it very well, but there's like a slight oxidation. This is a gold coin, original American gold coin from 1880, and it's a Liberty. And on the back, it's a $10 piece. And on the back, it's $10 value. United States of America, beautiful United States of America with the proud eagle and the shield and holding like the laurel wreath and arrows, at least a laurel branch. Look at the spot right there of toning. Someone would say, oh, that's a problem. That's a flaw. No, what that is that it's toning that's starting to, create a rainbow on the surface. Again, I'm not a coin collector, but when I see that, then I know, oh, this has been around and sealed and away from other coins for a long time. That takes quite a while to have that happen. So that made me happy to see that hadn't been cleaned or polished or wiped down or altered in any way. And then the kind of toning, I wish I could take her out of this, but I just don't want to touch her. I don't want to touch the coin. I could slip her out, but I'll bring her back when I have, a cloth that I can hold her with. So that I don't touch her. But yeah, there's toning on this that you just can't see because the plastic is really blocking that out. But I loved her face. Lady Liberty. Boy, do I love her. I love the coin, and I love Lady Liberty. A little cross that a gentleman gave me for free. So I think I'm going to pass that along to my mother, or maybe even my best friend today. I think that might go home with Tori. Yeah, you know what? I gave my mom a cross last week. I'm going to give this to Tori to keep her safe on the way home today. And then this sterling bracelet. This was wonderful. Heavy sterling silver bracelet. Kind of a squared Byzantine, or sometimes, in school, they called this, well, I don't like to say it. I won't say the name that they called this because it's just rude. But they had a name for this link. It was like, you know how they always say like the idiot's guide to stuff? Well, they called this the idiot link, and I don't know why. I don't know why. It always offended me so much. And human words can be so tragic sometimes, but it's Italian. It's 925. And I bought this with the cross from a very nice gentleman who's always treated me with such respect. He's so fantastic. And he was like, "Hey, jewelry guy." And as soon as he said that, I was like, "Me?" So I went over, and I think I was on the phone with Tanya when I bought this. I think I was. Yeah, I was on the phone with Tanya when I bought this in the cross. And I loved that link. And it's gonna, you know what? I'm gonna put it on right now. Here I go. Wearing stuff, dressing myself as we go. And then inside this is just a very beautiful, risque pocket mirror. I believe it's from the late 30s is my guess. I think it's just as I struggle to get this bracelet on, you should see what I'm doing to get that clasped. I got it on, and look, it fits so well. Yeah, that's going to stay on me. That's a keep. I just decided I'm keeping it. So if someone says in the comments they want to buy it, you're out of luck. This is Japanese. So no, this is late 30s then, or into the 40s. Well, I guess I would say 40s, because I don't think they would be marking it that way. But a celluloid border, and then on the back it's a mirror. And I don't want to, show the ring light because it would really hurt your eyes, but original mirror, and it's just a pocket mirror, but very beautiful. Native American with the big headdress and beautiful bow and arrow. Look at her, how beautiful she is. Slightly idealized, but I love the way she fills the whole frame. And a lady loved that. A lady loved this. And this is the Glidden. This is the Glidden pottery tray. I need to clean it. Glidden. So if you see this kind of fugitive mark, a lot of Glidden that was produced late 50s, early 60s will look like this. And this was only it was $4. And the 82 is just the mold number. It wasn't made in 1982. And it might be a 182. That might be a 1 right there. I'm not sure, but that might be a 182 would be the mold. And then Glidden. Glidden. Glidden pottery, very collectible. This form, once I clean it up, I would say that form, kind of this bean shape open, I would say, maybe it's like 35 or 45. So not a bad increase on that. Oh, and then the only other thing I bought is a tiny little rose bowl. I love these. I've always loved these. It's just because I love the rose bowl form. I usually get it in colored glass and not cut crystal. Some of this is pressed and some of it is cut, but I just thought this was like such a cute size. It's so tiny. It's like a little baby, They're much, much larger than this normally. So I bought that. And then the only other thing that I splurged on, which was like not a major splurge, was this burl wooden ball. And this has been around for a while. Had an E on it. Not sure exactly what was going on there, unless that was the artist that turned this and lathed this. But look at this for a burl ball. Now, if this was a burled bowl, I would have been completely nuts. But as an orb, look at that, how natural. It's been around a long time. But I want to show you every angle because look at how that tree had a large burl, or quote, imperfection or a problem as the tree grew. And look, someone knew to cut into that and lathed it down to this gigantic wooden ball. That was $10. From one of my friends out at Hartville. And as soon as I saw it, I saw the age and the wear, beautiful varnished surface, old original, but look at it. That made me so happy. Doesn't it look like Tiger Eye? Doesn't it have the same kind of, chatoyance and push and pull of light? But that's Mother Nature at her finest. It's and that an artist and a woodworker knew that would be inside of that area of the tree where the burl had formed. What an incredible burled ball. So, you know how I end this? Because it's totally true. I want you to go have a fantastic day. I want you to stay safe. I want you to stay happy. Thank you so much from the bottom of my heart, all the new subscribers, the comments that you've been leaving me. I sure hope I return the love you give me, because every night before I go to bed, it's my favorite thing to do, to decompress and to read the comments. And like I said, if I don't respond right away, it's probably because I'm sinking in with it. I'm swimming through the love. I don't, want to hurry sometimes. So if there's a slight delay in me responding, it's because I reread them and then I read them again. It reminds me on a daily basis how important I feel. And I thank you so much for that. To the people who I saw today that are my friends, you know exactly who you are. I don't need to list all of you. But to my new friend, Nate, it was fantastic to see you again today. And your clowns that you bought were hilarious. So Nate, if you watch this, you totally cracked me up. And then Lily, you know who you are. You work at the gas station. Lily, if you see this, just know how fantastic I think you are. You're a bright light. I'm so glad I met you. And thanks for being interested in my jewelry, because, I got a new subscriber out of it and now a new friend. So Lily, thank you so much. You're adorable and I really appreciate you watching. And thank you all to everyone who takes the time to watch my videos. You know how I end this, because it's true. I love you because I do. Mwah.